New reaction today to reports of Russia again attempting to interfere in U.S. elections. Democrats sounding the alarm.
The Russians never stopped interfering in American politics. They don't just get involved in elections. They are involved every single day. And analysis of what they've been doing on Twitter since 2016 has been pretty clear. They are weighing in over and over again in support of right-wing causes, in support of Donald Trump's political agenda. And of course, it stands to reason that they want Donald Trump reelected because he has been a gift to Russia.
Meanwhile, the White House denying reports the Kremlin is trying to help Trump's reelection. That contradicts the findings of U.S. intelligence officials. Also, according to reports, here are two Trump officials.
There's not intelligence that said that the Russians are trying to help Donald Trump win election.
There's no briefing that I've received, that the president's received, that says that President Putin is doing anything to try and influence the elections in favor of President Trump. We just haven't seen that intelligence.
President Trump, who's on his way to India right now for a state visit, also weighed in on the subject a bit earlier on the South Lawn. Let's go to NBC's Hans Nichols, who's joining us again from the White House. Hans, what did the president say about this?
Well, the president clearly had a couple goals when he walked to the camera just a few hours ago. Number one, he wanted to congratulate Bernie Sanders. He clearly wanted to accuse Adam Schiff of coming up with or concocting this idea that Russia is already interfering in the election, at least on behalf of Bernie Sanders. And he also wanted to distance himself from any idea that he has had any sort of briefing about him. I asked him directly if he's been briefed on Russian efforts to meddle on behalf of Bernie Sanders, and here's what he said.
Nobody said it. I read where Russia's helping Bernie Sanders. Nobody said it to me at all. Nobody briefed me about that at all. What they try and do is certain people like certain people to have information. No different than it's been. But I have not been briefed on that at all. Nobody told me about it.
It's here. You know, that's consistent with some of the sound you played earlier. Across the administration, they are claiming that they have not received a briefing, but you have to listen very carefully. It's a briefing that Russia is interfering on behalf of President Trump. At least that's what O'Brien said. Now, when I asked Trump, it was about interfering on behalf of Bernie Sanders. Again, a denial. What they aren't denying and what they're clearly trying to do is blame Adam Schiff for all this. And they want to muddy the waters. And that appears to be the strategy as they prepare for a potential Bernie Sanders nomination. I think that we heard it the clearest today from the president that he expects Bernie Sanders, Senator Sanders from Vermont, to be the Democratic nominee. Now, we'll see whether or not it changes, but as of right now, at least rhetorically, that's where the president's at.
Yeah,
Alex?
well, certainly no love lost from the president towards Adam Schiff. That is for sure. Okay, thank you so much, Hans Nichols from the White House. Joining me now, MSNBC contributor Shawna Thomas. Good to see you, Shawna. What is your take on this conflicting information from the Trump administration? They say that they've heard reports that Russia is working to make sure Bernie Sanders gets elected, but that they haven't heard a thing about a Russian push to have Trump reelected. Do you believe that?
It's hard to know what to believe the president has actually been briefed on. I think the thing that's really actually problematic here is we know Russia is trying to interfere in our elections. They interfered in 2016. It makes sense that they want to interfere in our elections. And the disheartening thing sometimes about when the president comes out in front of the press, as he did, and talked to Hans, who was on just a second ago, is it would be nice if his rhetoric actually matched kind of some of the stuff this administration actually has done. The sanctions haven't been lifted on Russia, that kind of stuff. But the thing is, and Chuck Todd got at this on Meet the Press today, the words a president says matter. One of his biggest things that he has going for him is he has a bully pulpit. Any president has a bully pulpit. And so it would be good if he presented a united front with his own intelligence community against Russia, no matter if it's true that they are trying to get him elected or get Bernie Sanders elected or whatever. Frankly, it's sort of easy. It would be easy for the president to dismiss the politics, and he could take a swipe at Adam Schiff by dismissing the politics and saying, hey, I think we have to stop Russia from interfering in our election. And the question we always come back to with this since 2016 is, why can't he just say that? Because if he could say that, then also these people in the intelligence community, and we've seen all of the reports that people are getting worried that they're not able to do their jobs, and their jobs are to protect you and I, Alex. I think that would go a long way to saying to people, hey, do your job.
Yeah, well, the fact that some people in the intelligence community are concerned about even telling the president the truth for the fear of how he will react to it.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.